Hello guys, this is Theme Vision here, back with another video. In today's episode, we'll be doing something a bit different. We'll be traveling outside of any Disney or Universal theme park. In today's episode, we will be traveling to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And I know what you're thinking, you may be confused. Some of you may think, well, boardwalks don't have, any well-themed rides, they're just seaside amusement parks. While the majority time at boardwalks you'll find, spinner rides or your typical off-the-shelf wild mouse roller coaster, this boardwalk is one of a kind when compared to other boardwalks throughout the nation. This boardwalk is home to, well, a few iconic attractions. One of these attractions is a Giant Dipper roller coaster, a classic wooden coaster all built out of wood from the 1920s and still stands today. It is actually a National Historical Landmark in California. Today, however, we will not be taking a look at the Giant Dipper. Instead, we will be taking a look at another iconic boardwalk attraction, the Cave Train Adventure. Our story begins in 1956, when Seaside Company President Lawrence Canfield proposed building out the east end of the boardwalk between the Giant Dipper edifice, the San Lorenzo River, and the railroad trestle. By March of 1959, planning for an 825-foot-long concrete wall of sheet piles to surround the area. This created a 2-acre surface deck and similarly sized basement, which afforded more space for ride expansion, maintenance shops, storage, and more public restrooms. Ultimately, this meant that Lawrence Canfield wanted to install a new attraction, a darkride attraction. Just 7 hours south of the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, Disneyland had opened. This amazing park opened in 1955 and impressed guests from all over the world with its amazing technology and ride storytelling elements. Disneyland will be home to 3 dark ride attractions: Peter Pan's Flight, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and Snow White's Scary Adventure. The boardwalk saw this as an opportunity to make this technology their own through, well, of course, a dark ride. In July of 1959, the Seaside Company's board approved plans for 2 new and unique rides. One of them was a self-propelled car ride similar to Disney's Autopia, and the other was a mine train ride attraction in the Disney style. The boardwalk contracted with Aero Development Company of Mountain View, California to engineer both of the attractions. Using a simple railroad attraction template, creative directors were brought in to design the initial ride. Seaside Company leaders, President Lawrence Canfield, General Manager Tom Cutting, and Maintenance Superintendent Bill Fravel actively engaged in the design and development, while a young Charles Canfield, who later became the company's president, also brainstormed with his dad. Eventually, the cave train was developed, simply to tell the story of cavemen with recorded narration illuminating the journey humor that would lie in what the cavemen were doing. The boardwalk acquired roughly around 50 cave people to occupy the ride. After arrival, staff cut and bent their arms, elbows, legs, and knees into different postures. And eventually, the cave train debuted as Cave Train to the Lost World in June of 1961. In the late 90s, the boardwalk's 36-year-old deck near the river end of the boardwalk needed retrofitting with stronger, grittier support. To accomplish this, the workers emptied the basement, including where the cave train chugged along. Boardwalk planners began to brainstorm fresh theming for the ride. They thought the Flintstone-era journey through Bedrock City had become a little cheesy. We all concluded that the new millennium beckoned a more modern ride experience. An underwater-themed deep-sea adventure became the leading concept. The the 2 cave trains were to be rethemed to a new ride. Reminders of what Jules Verne under the Sea Train might look like still reside in the Boardwalk's company archives. A trickle of Boardwalk lovers noticed the ride was closed and registered their dismay that it might go away forever. Then, one after the other, letters, emails, and cards arrived from the Cave Train fans, worried that the ride was being dismantled. A signed petition urging continuance of the ride appeared one day. With telephone calls to our public relations department, people insisted, in a nice way, that the same ride should reopen as they remembered it. Boardwalk guests told us that they loved the 1930s tune, Be mir mist de schoon, that our happy cave people danced to in the stone room. By the way, I don't know if I pronounced that right. You guys can let me know in the comments. It dawned on the company's president, Charles Confield, and soon the rest of us, that the ride had almost had like a cult-like following. There was nothing like the Cave Train experience anywhere. So, staff stopped trying to retheme the ride, and, thankfully, changed their approach to enriching what they had already did in 1961. Los Angeles-based R&R Creative Amusement Design was consulted on improvements and quickly reported that the old ride lacked the continuity of a storyline. So, they made the ride stick more contemporary while keeping its nostalgic charm. Technicians enhanced the animatronic movements of the cave people only a little to keep the cave trains kitsched. They also upgraded the lighting and the sound elements to improve the rider experience. They also added more cave residents to the Bedrock City theming. The cave train chugged back to life as the new millennium began, tagged as Cave Train 2000. The name soon morphed into the Cave Train Adventure, but is more commonly known as simply the Cave Train. Thank you all for watching this episode of Theme Vision. Now, the Cave Train holds a special place in my heart as I am a frequenter of Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Travel there on vacation, summer, spring. It's a great place, and personally, I think really one of the best boardwalks around. And this ride means a lot to me. It's part of my childhood, and nobody's, as far as I'm concerned, has ever done a history video on this attraction. So I hope you guys enjoy this and share this with your friends, because I know maybe not a lot of people, are familiar about this ride outside of people who live in Santa Cruz, California. But other than that, just, thanks for watching. Make sure to, subscribe, like this video. Please share thoughts with us. And thanks for watching this video, guys. This is me signing off.